Oh, I had a
turn this into something else. I apologize.
I had a question though regarding subtitles and torrents and stuff. What about series like that are like almost certainly never going to like ever get an official like release or anything in the United States? I'm not just talking about anime. I was actually what I was specifically thinking of wasn't an anime. It was Super Sentai, the TV series that basically Power Rangers uses stock footage from. That stuff has like never, I think, been released in the U.S. and it probably never will.
That's one thing that there is there's not an easy answer for. There are a lot of things that there are easier answers for. What I would do, in all honesty, if you want to do legal, if you want to be a fan and not a leech, try to find it on DVD or Laserdisc in Japan and pay the import fee. It's going to be more expensive, but if you want it...
But do they have subtitles? I mean, you can't if it's Japanese, you can't understand it.
I think a friend of mine actually got something from Japan and it has subtitles, but be prepared for them not being kind of kosher.
Yeah, it's not going to be completely... Yeah.
Yeah. As a follow-up to that, that's probably why you guys know about like the Bridge series and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's probably why they always say in the beginning, this is not copyright to me.
Yes, they do, and they also encourage you to go out and buy the actual series. And I've seen a couple of the Bridge series things. I try to avoid looking at stuff like that when I'm working on a show, and I've heard there's some funny Dragon Ball stuff, but I've not seen any of it while I'm still working on Kai. I've heard that at the beginning they always say, we do not own the license is owned by Funimation, this Japanese company, please support them by purchasing the actual series. And you know what, I really appreciate that. I think, you know, anything that's going to get money back to the Japanese industry so that there can continue to be new shows being produced, I'm all for it. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, fundamentally things like the abridged series and some of the AMVs, does act as promotion. Because
some.
Well, yeah, some. Because the actual shows, you watch the whole show, not because you want to know the end, but because it's the journey that counts, because it's entertaining watching the characters grow. The abridged series just takes that and makes it humorous.
Yeah, exactly. And my problem with a lot of AMVs, and I love AMVs, I love a good AMV. A lot of people that do them from the fan subs and the BitTorrents.
Yeah.
If you are legally getting, it's very funny when Watanabe did his panel with my brother, they said, well, how do you feel about AMVs? AMVs. They don't do that, they don't have that in Japan. That is something that is American. So we had to explain to him what an AMV was through a translator, and he goes, and he thought for a minute, he goes, well, isn't that stealing from two people? If you don't have the rights for the anime or the music?
Well...
And we were all like, ooh.
Well...
But yeah, and that was his take on it. But yeah.
From a legal perspective, the music could be considered copyright infringement, but the anime would probably be considered fair use.
Why?
Because you can create a derivative work by taking small segments of another work. Mm-hmm. So if I say create a humorous mashup clip of I don't know, Inception mixed with some anime. Mm-hmm. That a court would probably not find that as copyright infringement because that's not going to substitute for you for seeing the actual work.
Copyright, yes. Intellectual property, no. You're dealing with someone's intellectual property.
Copyright is intellectual.
I agree, but that you can be tried on both, and it's a lot harder with the intellectual property or trademark. Those characters are all trademarked and copyrighted. Yeah. And so you run into a lot of gray areas. And again, my expertise is not legal. My brother could probably answer those better for you because he used to work for a law firm. So he knew. Yeah, Greg used to work for a big evil law firm, and he doesn't do it anymore. But and again, like I said, I don't want to give you any strong misinformation because the voice actors that go out there and try to talk on this subject and go out not knowing anything. Well, it's just wrong. End up through all the best intentions doing more damage than they do good. And I'd rather say, I'm not sure, than say, no, you're wrong, or yes, you're right, or anything. Yes?
Well, yeah, there's also this saying on YouTube where people would put up full episodes of anime shows.
Yeah.
But in the description box beneath the video, they would say, "I do not own this," in hopes that they
That's
won't
still
possibly get in
illegal.
trouble. But yeah,
That's still illegal.
Yeah, but
YouTube
yeah,
still
as-
has
but I mean,
banking
I've
and
seen
all that.
videos.
Yeah.
that
The
have been-
nice thing is YouTube has given the companies, and if you are the subject
Oh, yeah,
of
I saw
multiple
the
YouTube
Funimation
videos, you can, and you should know this also, because in case anything comes up that you wouldn't want on there, you can petition YouTube, and you can say, look, I'm the subject of X videos, this was not done with my permission, and they will give you a tool to go in and remove that content. They will give you a content removal tool. If you are the subject of multiple videos on YouTube, or your company is, you can, now granted, there is a ton of paperwork. Anytime you delete something, there's a ton of paperwork you have to fill out as to exactly why. But this whole online thing that you have to, I believe it's an online thing. They didn't develop it. Funimation has it, ADV had it, all the major studios have it. Because, again, people are not buying, they'll go, oh, I'll just watch that series on YouTube, you know.
Well,
that process is under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, the process is you notify YouTube that this video is infringing, and YouTube is safe from legal rebuttal, so you can't sue YouTube for,
Right.
for the actions of their users unless they refuse to take it down.
Right.
So YouTube then takes it down and...
Actually, they have a content removal tool that they can
Yeah.
give the studios and stuff like that you can remove it. But there is stuff you have to fill out saying as why you did.
Because otherwise...
Because of the Millennium Copyright. Yeah, you're right.
New
Digital
things
Millennium
will be
Copyright
brought.
Act. Yeah.
Although actually that was another question I'm thinking of, well, actually not related to that. In regards to like watching stuff online, like not legally, I'm just thinking because I keep like thinking of shows. For example, there's this one show that they showed on Cartoon Network for a while that I really loved called Bobobo, and has anyone else seen that?
Yeah, I've got friends who are in it.
Okay. And the thing is, they showed it on Cartoon Network, showed the run once, and then they never showed it again. It isn't streamed like anywhere. They cancel the DVDs after 2 volumes.
You know why? You know why a lot of times DVDs get canceled?
Why?
Because people aren't buying them.
I remember reading that
It
there's
makes
some.
no sense.
I remember
to put money
reading
into something that people are not buying.
I-
That's why you see a lot of series that you only see a first season of.
Well,
Well, if people aren't buying it, well, we're not going. Why are we going to spend money to create this? You can't spend the money to create something just because it's there, if it's not going to turn around and help bring money back into the industry in Japan.
I bought both, but
And good for you. Good
but
for you. Here's my thing, and my collection, my DVD collection is over 4,000. It's over 4,000. It is anime does not make up the majority of it. Horror makes up the majority of it. I can't tell you how many different variation of George Romero's Dawn of the Dead I have. Every time it comes out in a new special edition, I'm like, okay, I'm a fan of George Romero. I gotta support it. I'll buy the $50 box set, which had some great special features. Sorry, just plug in the big black box set. But you know, again, sorry.
Well,
I lost my place. So.
well, so I guess what I was kind of saying is, as far as I know, there is literally no legal way to view it. Now, I kind of thought ahead, and I deliberately, and I recorded most of the episodes and still have those on my computer. I actually use this little camera to transfer them there. But I'm just thinking, I mean, because other people, like, you can't, get it in any way as far as I know. So, I mean, it just seems like...
Sure, if you look hard enough, there may be, but again,
it's not on, like...
I'm not an expert on that.
So. Oh, I know that. I'm just, like, saying, what do you think about, like, maybe shows that literally you just can't get? Again, not on TV, not online.
Here's the way I look at it.
Okay.
Something is either legal or it isn't. It's just like ethics. You either have them or you don't. There's no middle ground. Yeah.
Alright, well, back to what I was saying about people putting anime episodes on YouTube. Now, problem with that is that, though, if you put up an episode of a very hit show, like, for instance, Bleach, you put it up on YouTube, and then 1 month later, it has been taken down by possibly the studio who owns the rights to it, or basically by YouTube. Yeah, whatever. But problem is that if you put up anime episodes from not exactly a very well-known show, possibly one that is only known by only a very small percentage of the people of the world, like Urusei Yatsura, which is from, well, you heard of it? Yeah. Those episodes that's been put up by people are bound to be on there for the next 5 to 10 years.
Possibly.
Because not many people have heard of it.
No, exactly.
You can
Is it
flag
illegal
it though.
to watch it if the site's streaming it?
Depends. If you're talking about the BitTorrent sites like, was it Naruto Fan and stuff, God, I cannot wait. For years they've not been able to they're getting dangerously close to being able to nail that jerk. Because he's saying, oh yes, this money goes back into the industry, and it's not.
No, I'm talking about like the site I go to is goodanime.com, and it's just all.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with that, but make sure that name is up on YouTube, because I'll find the clips of this and I'll find out. I mean, I'll definitely go and check them out. Because here's the thing, I all the time have fans sending me things saying, hey, is this site legal? And I will go and I will check it out. And if it's not, I send the website address to the production managers at Seraphim Studio and the lawyers for Funimation, and my friends that are lawyers for the other companies. If I see that it's something illegal, I absolutely pass it on to the people that can do the most damage. Good. Yeah. So I'll definitely try to take a look at that. Hulu is legal, I know, and there are several places that have it out there. Funimation has its own YouTube channel.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Funimation has a YouTube channel.
Love
They
it.
stream episodes. And Funimation.com was streaming episodes
on their
the day after it was aired in Japan. So let's move on to other questions, though. Let's move on to some other questions. Yes, thank you.
Do either of you have a favorite series that you would love to work on, but you haven't gotten a chance to yet?
Like an
Or
upcoming
will.
one or one that's already been made?
I wanted, I'll kind of answer that question. I wanted to play one of the frogs on Sergeant Frog. But I kind of got happy. I played Dance Master on Sergeant Frog, and he's pretty awesome. I don't know if y'all know Dance Master? No?
I can't say the name of it, and it's not actually as an actor, it's as a director. The former ADV studios and all the licenses have been picked up by Section 23. Have got a show that is released subtitled, and I really, really pray if everybody up there knows that if they do this show, I want to direct it. I can't say the name of it because I don't know whether there's ever going to be a dub of it or not. It has been released subtitled. It is a beautiful show. It is one that I really feel a strong connection to as a director because of its subject matter. No, and it's not a Dario Argento or George Romero anime. But it involves a lot of theater stuff and a lot of directing for theater, and you see actual plays on animated. It's just right up my alley. So if the studio ever does that, I really, really, really want to direct it. Partially because there are elements of it as a director that really terrify me, and I know that if something scares me, it's going to make me grow. So, yeah.